Oh, you should have seen the mood on my cousin. He was a happy guy, and then the Jets came on, and then he was a miserable sow for the rest of the day. Honest.
That's what happens.
And I can't blame him.
I don't know how good a coach he's going to be. Are we starting the show, by the way?
I think we already did.
Oh, okay. I don't know how good he's going to be. I mean, who watches? Where the hell is he coming?
Duke.
Who watches Duke football?
He did. I mean, to give the dude credit where credit may be due, he did turn that program around.
That's a lot of dudes.
But he was DC at A&M from 18 to 21.
That makes him an Aggie.
Yeah, but
were
how
those
did he
great
do?
years?
How did they do?
Were they?
No.
I don't
Yes.
remember
No,
their,
they
like,
weren't.
the wrecking crew.
Yes, they were good. They were a very good defensive team at that point. But again, you listen to Aggies, and how many times? And I've listened to not a lot of it, but I've read a lot of this stuff over the last couple of days because I was really into this, thinking Jeff Traylor was going to be the guy. And then when you find out that Jeff Traylor wasn't the guy, he was at least third on the depth chart, makes you wonder, what the hell are they doing up there? And the problem is they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they had Mark Stoops, as somebody put it, they were walking down the aisle with Mark Stoops, and then somebody got a hold of the contract and said, wait a minute. We're going to pay Mark Stoops the same amount of money we just paid an outsider, and then we have to pay to get rid of him? There's no way we're going to pay that kind of money to an outsider. Let's get an Aggie in here. And so they went out and got the other guy, and that's where they're at. But imagine Jeff Traylor was at least third on this list. That's outrageous to me.
Do you feel like that sort of nepotism is unique to A&M? Because I feel like that happens all over the place. I mean, look at St. John's in college basketball. They refuse to hire anybody who doesn't have an immediate St. John's connection, right? Like, this has been year after year. Georgetown University in college basketball, they've got to have a Hoya. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Well, I think the problem with that is that you're looking for a guy that's going to stay no matter what. Because that's a big problem in college sports, is you get a coach, you hire a guy, and then 5 years down the road, he's out of there.
Yeah, he does a better deal on you.
Yeah, so you want to get a guy that went to Georgetown. You want to get a guy that graduated from UTSA or was an Aggie that has some loyalty to the school, because the coaches don't have any loyalty. So I think that's what they're looking for.
But nobody has loyalty when you're offered more money and better perks.
I sort of agree. If you're Texas A&M, I don't think you have to worry about the loyalty thing. You're already in the SEC.
Right, but that's on a different level. Most schools aren't on the Aggie level. You're talking about a handful. You're talking about, 20, 25 schools that is going to be able to keep their coach no matter what.
Do Aggies seem happy about this to you? The Aggies in your world?
They are thrilled.
Yeah.
So they're thrilled with the guy. Admittedly, he did turn around Duke. I'll give him that. In 18, they were 9-4. In 19, they were 8-5. In 2020, they were one win away from something, but they lost a big game, and they ended second in the West.
They're mediocre.
Exactly.
Texas A&M is land of mediocrity. That's all there is to it. Like I said, they want to go back to R.C. Slocum years. And what does that man ever win? He never won anything. That school has never won anything. Have they won it? I mean, what did they win? A track and field championship at some point? Ladies softball?
John David Crow. We're going back to the 50s.
They don't know what it is to win, and they don't know how to do it. They need a guy up there that has won something, that's a champion. It's like in professional sports, you need to go sign a free agent that's won a championship and to show your team how to get it done and what it takes to win a title. And they don't have anybody at Aggie Land.
Do you know what has happened since the last time the A&M has won a national championship?
How much?
The dinosaurs died.
The Challenger has blown up.
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy was assassinated. We got out of Korea. We exploded not only one, but 2 nuclear bombs.
Oh. Yeah.
And Hitler was still in power.
And like 1 million people died of COVID. Thanks for that,
It's
Bob.
been a minute.
1939.
It has been a minute. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just let me scroll this real quick. That is also their last undefeated season.
Yeah,
this will give you a clue into Aggie Land. So the AD said yesterday that they researched every team to win the SEC championship and a national title, and these were the key factors: defensive-minded head coach, championship-level culture, recruit and develop elite NFL-type talent, play great offense and score a lot of blah, blah, blah. We all know that, Mr. Mr. York, or whatever your name is. We know. You had to do That's the wacky thing about this. You had to do research about this? You could have asked me. You could have called me on the phone, Wally. What's it going to take to get a night? And let me tell you, it's going to take championship-level culture there, Mr. E. Are these people kidding? They don't know what the hell they're doing at Aggie Land. That's why they are mediocre. They'll always be mediocre.
It was just like Elko's welcoming speech, where he's like, "We're going to stand up for quality. We're going to be excellent in everything, in degrees, in on-campus activities, and in the 12th man. We're going to do it all." Okay.
That's just like every head coach introduction
Oh
speech.
my God!
We're going to play hard. We're going to be tougher than the next guy.
What I wish I could have done before the show was basically clip out the parts where he mentions Aggie and A&M and just like Mad Lib, your college here.
Yes, absolutely. You could do that with every head coach interview, or rather first game press conference, introductory press conference. Yeah, no, you could do that for everyone. By the way, welcome to the Unrestricted, folks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Post Thanksgiving, our first show. No Richie today. He's too busy at work. We understand. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving, boys?
I did not.
Oh, God.
I did not.
Why?
Well, we're not big turkey people at the Passequita household. We have no family here other than the four of us. So who cares?
Okay.
So Mrs. Passequita decided to book us a hotel room at Margaritaville on South Padre Island.
Okay, cool.
Which is fine. I don't mind driving, so I drive the 5 hours to get down there on Monday. And the weather was really nice. It was warm, 80 degrees. Water's too cold to go into.
Yeah.
But the pool is nice and warm to go into because it's a heated pool outside. So it was nice. We had a drink out in the pool. It was good. After Monday, it went to hell because the weather was awful. It rained most of the time we were there, and it was freaking cold. And on top of that, here's the thing with being, whether you go to Port Aransas or you go to South Padre Island, you're going to spend a shitload of money on food. There's no choice.
Yep.
You could go you can go either to the best quote unquote restaurants, or you can go to, the biggest chain restaurant. You're going to pay, with a family of four, you're going to pay over $100 for dinner every night. And especially if you go to a hotel that doesn't have a kitchen in it, you're gonna have to buy breakfast, you're gonna buy lunch, and you're gonna buy dinner. And before you know it, you're out $300 a day.
Just on meals.
And that's outrageous.
Yeah.
You can't, and if it's gonna be cold and rainy down there and you can't enjoy the beach and you can't enjoy the pool, what's the purpose?
I could have told you not to make that trip. I'm sorry.
We drove back on Wednesday.
Yeah. Cut it short.
Yep, absolutely did.
Okay. River City Refuels.
River City Refuels is a
They
vending
re-upped.
Yes, they did. We love the owner of River City Refuels.
They refueled themselves.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. This is a vending machine for your business. So you think about it. Well, who has vending machines anymore? Well, if you got good vending machines that have good quality products in them, you'll want one of these. Whether you're an apartment complex, you're an office building, you're who's got a lot of these vending machines? It's car dealerships.
Yeah.
Get new ones. Get in touch with my guy, 630-5973, 630-5973. And the vending machines are put in with quality products that you want. Not what they want, it's what you want. You want donuts in there? Absolutely. Ramen noodles? Sure. You want to put Parliament lights in there? By all means, put your cigarettes in there. Whatever you want, it's tailored to you and your employees' tastes and likes. It's cashless. It's perfect. They stock the machine. You don't have to do anything but just enjoy it. 210-630-5973, 630-5973. This is a local company, River City Refuels.
See, I'm surprised you had such a bad Thanksgiving because there was great sports on. It seemed inundated from essentially Thursday on. I mean, you had the first Black Friday game of all time, which was your Jets, which...
Friday was terrific. It was a great sports day with the Jets. You had UTSA going. You had the Spurs at nighttime. You had, what else? You had something else. What the hell am I forgetting? Whatever it was. But it was from morning to night.
Yep.
Nothing great sports, at least for me personally, because it was teams I root for. So
And Saturday was incredible.
Yeah.
Sunday
Saturday was
NFL
incredible.
was really competitive. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty doggone great sports weekend. Now, I'll admit to you that on Thanksgiving Day, I did not have much of a chance to tune into as much football as I would have liked because, much like you, some people in my family are not turkey people. So I did basically a brisket, a Wagyu butt.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
So I smoked that thing. I was out on the smoker for, I don't know, better part of 3 hours. So I wasn't able to take in as much. And by the way, brisket, so much better than turkey. Okay?
I would agree with that.
It's just a better experience.
But I don't know how to cook it. I don't know how to.
I'll teach you. It's easy.
I don't know how to cut the meat. That's when it comes from the supermarket, because you got to
You got to trim it.
You got to trim it. You got to trim it properly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up with a piece of crap. And then on top of that, you got to cut it in the right way. Otherwise, you're chewing a piece of leather.
I can teach you how to do this. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
But I always wanted
do
to
it.
put brisket on the food truck and make brisket sandwiches. I've tried to get people to make it for me, but the problem with brisket is it's freaking expensive. By the time you get your piece of meat and cut it all down, and then you get obviously all the shrinkage that comes with
Sure.
cooking a brisket, you lose a lot of product there. And before you know it, you're paying, $15 a pound for brisket.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
Yeah, I feel you. Cowboys took care of business. Spurs had some interesting stuff.
Yep.
The Texans on Sunday looked plucky again.
Plucky?
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean, plucky?
Plucky to me means like that's a dangerous team.
Yes.
I don't think I want to play them. And they played Jacksonville, who might be the best team in their conference. They're competing to be the best team in their conference. And Houston damn near had them.
Conference or division?
Conference.
Yeah, I don't think so. I disagree with him.
What?
I'm with
Really?
you.
They're tied for first in their conference, boys and girls.
They might be, but I didn't see. I don't think they're the best in the AFC.
Okay.
I'm not
Just
with you on that
because
one.
someone has a better record doesn't mean they're a good or better team.
Does that apply to college football for you?
It might.
Yeah.
It might.
Okay.
They're not even the best team in their own state.
Don't think so?
No, I think Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, have they? But again, they may have already played each other, and Jacksonville beat them 25-0. I don't know. So,
Okay,
but
I
think
got
from what I've seen.
I got a couple stories to tell you. One about watching the Jets game with a diehard Jets fan and how sad that was. And also, I went to the UT Texas Tech game on Friday night, which was an incredible atmosphere.
That was the other game I was thinking of Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible. Where do we start this thing? I think we have to start with the weirdest thing that happened in the sports world over the last 4 days, and that was Coach Pop.
Yep.
Taking to the microphone in the second quarter of the Spurs-Clippers game to basically tell Spurs fans to be classy and stop booing Kawhi Leonard. What was your immediate reaction? Because as I was watching this game and the volume was kind of down, and then I realized that Coach Pop was on the mic, and I turned it up, and I was, what the hell is going on in this game? I can honestly say I don't remember that ever happening, except for one time was it Sam Weish was the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, and people throwing stuff on the
People
field.
yes,
Yeah.
and he said, "You're not from Cleveland." Remember that?
Yeah, I sure
and
do.
They went,
Yeah.
And he just incited them further, essentially. But I've essentially never seen that happen. Your reaction?
I was not watching the game, but as always, if I'm sitting watching a sporting event, I'm in front of social media. So I go, what the hell is this? Wow, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe he did it. So I go back and I watched the whole replay and saw the whole thing. And I was flabbergasted, shocked, all those kind of things. And he's dead wrong. And there's no other way to say it. And then for him to go out and double down on it the next day was appalling to me. I was sure that he would come out and apologize the next day because he is so wrong. It's not even funny. And listen, I've been a Coach Pop fan forever. And he always gave me shit. And I think it was an affectionate kind of way in giving me shit over the years of covering the team. but what he did that night was just unforgivable.
And unwilling later to admit a mistake. And
Yeah.
it's very rare
Double
that,
down on it.
It's very rare that you and I agree through and through, but I think on this we might. Because here's the thing with Pop. I realize that he wants to be the spokesman of taking the higher ground in all things. That's his deal. And I also realize that what he has become is a statesman for the league and a statesman for the players. You watch Coach Pop on the sideline during games, getting hugs from the other team, from their players, the respect that he garners from
Sure.
around the league. And I think that, his political thoughts have helped him gain a lot of traction with a lot of guys in the league. And I think
Agree.
and I think this may have been another attempt by him to gain more respect among the players. And here's the thing, Pop. You can't put the players above your fans. And that's exactly what he did. He forgot for an instant that, you know what? We were jilted by Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was supposed to be the cornerstone of our franchise. He was supposed to be the next superstar that begat David Robinson and Tim Duncan. He was supposed to be that guy. He was the guy that the Spurs grew from a talented, but, he had his shortcomings, guy coming out of San Diego, right? He was supposed to be.
But he's been gone for a long time. I think Pop just got to a point where he said, enough is enough.
Tough shit.
I'm
We'll
with ya.
decide when enough is enough.
That's exciting because, has Kawhi Leonard come out and ever apologized to the fans of San Antonio? Absolutely not. That's what I said. Coach Pop instead of admonishing the fans, why don't you go to your boy Kawhi Leonard and make him apologize to the fans of San Antonio? Being you always have these little bromances out on the court at the end of the game with Kawhi Leonard. Go do that. Go convince him, hey, you know what? You should apologize. And then if Kawhi Leonard had apologized to the fans of San Antonio after he left, you know what? There wouldn't be an issue.
Walter, I don't need an apology, but I need an explanation from Kawhi Leonard. Because what Kawhi did, and let's not forget this, is he ran away from Spurs trainers. He hid from the Spurs training staff. He wouldn't allow himself to be evaluated so that he would increase his value on the trade market. Remember, if he had just said out loud, look, my knee's fine, the Spurs could have traded him for a Paul George type package. But instead, there was this mystery surrounding his leg, and the Spurs were able only to get pennies on the dollar in that trade with Toronto. He screwed his own organization, and there was
his teammates.
And his teammates, correct.
Manu and Tony were in the locker room and confronted him one night and said, hey, are you in or are you out?
That's right.
They had to go that far. And so, when Pop yells at us for booing, why don't you, go back to that time when this guy, Kawhi Leonard, screwed your franchise and your players and
screwed his own trade value. I mean, let's not forget that. And I don't need an apology from Kawhi Leonard because I don't expect one. But an explanation for why the hell he ghosted us, which is what he did.
Absolutely.
I need an explanation. Did you just want to go home? Did Uncle Dennis fool you into thinking that the Clippers were the better place for you to be and that you had to get out of San Antonio? What happened?
Yeah, but he had come out and said that right from the start. Hey, I want to go home to Los Angeles. And listen, we all know we don't need to go back in history, but we all know Kawhi Leonard didn't do this the right way. That's all there is to it. But Pop, I think, just had come to a decision that enough is enough. Stop booing. That's the end of it. But he did a lot of things wrong here. First of all, he put his players in a terrible situation. You had Wemby having to talk about it at the end of the game. You had Sohan who had to talk about it. And Jeremy Sohan has got enough on his plate, and then he had to come out and talk like an ass because he didn't know what he was talking about. He said, I think it was the right thing to do. You don't know what is going on in Kawhi's head. He has done so much for this organization, so there's no need to disrespect him like that. You got no idea what you're talking about, Jeremy. Shut up. And that was the bad situation that Pop put them in. And then you had a guy like Steve Kerr, and I like Steve Kerr an awful lot.
Me too.
And Steve Kerr has always been nice to me.
Great guy.
And one of the few guys that I ever dealt with the Spurs that knew who I was. And so for Steve Kerr to come out and say booing should be selective, I think there should be a general rule that if a guy helps your franchise win a championship, he should never be booed in your building. Other people, fair game. Steve, you're out of touch. Did you not know what happened here?
He ghosted our franchise. Our franchise player ghosted our team, ghosted our training staff. Like, I'm sorry, we're not over it. And we're not going to be over it.
And Pop said to talk about the fans not being classy. I mean, Pop, have you ever looked in the mirror when you're doing these freaking sideline interviews or doing a media session with any of us?
Not classy.
You're never classy. You're a prick.
Yeah, true. And by the way, I love Pop. Much like you, I love Pop. And I defend him 9 times out of 10. Not on this one, buddy.
You can't.
Sorry.
You can't. He's wrong. And again, like I said, he doubled down on it the next day. And listen, kudos to Tom Osborne from the Express News. Nobody covers the Spurs better than Tom Osborne. It's a slam dunk. But Pop said, and Tom asked him, listen, you have any regrets about this? He said, absolutely not. It's pretty easy to understand. I listened to it for a while, and it just got louder and louder and uglier, and I felt sorry for him and was embarrassed for our city and our organization because that's not who we are.
Well, that's fine for him to feel that way. It's not fine for him to take the mic. Sorry.
Not in the middle of the game. At an after-game presser, I think that's the appropriate time to say something.
That's a good point, Bob. He could have waited till after the game and said, regretfully, we were booing him, and I think we're classier than that.
Yeah,
but not in the middle of the game.
That would have been before the pregame speech. He would have talked. He doesn't normally talk about outside things after the game, but he'll talk about outside things before the game. He should have. And that's exactly what he should have done. If Pop wanted the booing to end, he should have made that part of his pregame speech before the game and said, "Listen, I want to send this message out to the Spurs fans. We appreciate your passion. We love that you're into the team and all that stuff. But if you could please refrain from booing Kawhi Leonard. We understand, things didn't, and blah 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 blah. That might have silenced the thing and maybe put a thing to bed.
Even better than that, we're focused on what's coming in front of us. We're not going to pay any attention to what's behind us. Our journey, our future is bright. Just let it be that way.
Yeah. It makes it all the more difficult when you're in the midst of a 12-game losing streak, and it seems like your coach is more concentrated on the feelings of a former player, an opponent, than the winning. And I have seen a number of Spurs fans say, if you're worried about Kawhi Leonard's feelings in that second quarter, you know what you're not paying attention to? Winning.
Name on
you
the
left
jersey.
The door wide open.
And the name on the jersey of your top draft pick.
Yeah, you screwed up Victor's name, for God's sakes.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but somebody probably lost their job, right?
I guess.
I would think. You had one job.
But how did that jersey change? Is that the first time they've worn that jersey this year?
I don't know. Not
I don't know
sure.
either.
No, and they had another one
ready to
right
go.
there.
Yeah.
So it looks like it may have just been that jersey, that particular jersey, which my question was, who has it right now and how much is it worth?
That's a good question. It's got to get to eBay somehow, right?
What was how much did his first jersey get?
I don't know.
$800,000 in an auction,
really?
Right?
Oh,
something like that. Was 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
This is going to still be
Crazy
that
money.
because that is the only one. One would hope.
Do you have? Here's a question for you. And
Sure.
I hope to goodness my son does not listen to this podcast.
No, because it would destroy his golfing game.
How y'all feel out there? Do you feel good? I said, do you feel good? Come on. The groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. I said the groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. It feel good, don't it? It feel good. It feel good cause you know it's good. Hey, it feel good, don't it? It feel good. It feel good cause you know it's good.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I'm just sort of low energy today.
Why? What's the matter with you?
I got a cold.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't have time for energy drop off. The fucking food truck business has just gone into the fucking tank. So everything fucking sucks. I went out last night to a place that I've gone to half a dozen times. It's been okay, you know. Last night I had 2 customers.
That's terrible.
It
Is
sucks.
it the weather
I don't know what it is. It could be the weather,
and
but
the
it's not like the
time change?
It could be that too. Could be all of those things. Could be the holidays. Who the hell knows?
Alignment of the planets.
But nevertheless, so now I'm not making enough money. So now I gotta go take a second job. So I will be door dashing after today's show at 11 o'clock.
Understood. Understood. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
See, what could be the weirdest thing I could order on DoorDash?
I know, right? Get him over here.
A big dildo from Dildos R Us.
The only thing that I would, that I could do as a trick is just order something with like onions, just sliced onions.
So it smells like
run,
your car?
And run exactly.
Yeah.
I did that the other night. I went to Burger Boy, and I don't get onions on anything, and I forgot to mention it. My car still smells like onions.
Yeah, that's gonna last forever. That sucks. I would order Burger King because Burger King was next to the radio station, and so I would throw at the end of the finishing up your lunch, you throw the bag in the garbage right there, and that fucking bag and that garbage smelled for a week. Holy crap!
So why is Rob Thompson full of shit?
Because he's just maybe he's not full of shit, but he's just stupid like an Aggie. Because they're all stupid. Like I was telling you. Anyway.
They all think that this is their savior, their messiah.
It certainly sounds that way, but again, they all want to go back to the R.C. Slocum years, and what did that guy ever win? He didn't win anything.
No.
And they catch themselves as they're saying, we want to go back to the R.C. Slocum years, and he, and winning Big 12 titles, well, at least competing for Big 12 titles. They catch themselves because then they realize while they're talking their bullshit that guy never won anything. He's never won anything. That school's never won anything. You know what they need up there? They need a winner up there. They need somebody to show them how to win.
It's not
because
this
they don't
guy.
know.
This guy is a suit. I mean, I hate listening to all these college football coaches on their
Who's a
entrance
suit?
interview.
Elko?
Yeah.
I don't know if he is or isn't.
Well, I mean, he doesn't wear a suit. He looks like a freaking tractor driver.
No, I don't mean that. I mean,
I wonder, would the state of Texas allow you to have a play called crap?
No.
Is that offensive?
I think it's considered a curse word.
By who?
Crappy people.
So, bastard?
Definitely not.
bitch. Can we just throw out curse words now? Son of a bitch.
Well, I mean, if you said bitch and it was about your favorite female dog, I mean, that's accurate.